My name is Dontez Lindsay. I am the general manager of Ducks Trading LLC, as well as the lead trainer of StockCraft. I'm not a financial advisor, nor a CPA, and the content I create is for entertainment and educational purposes only. I trade in my account, and everything I do is hypothetical in nature because it doesn't happen in your account. My experience with trading is not typical, nor does it guarantee that similar results will be obtained by you. I am merely sharing my opinion with no guarantee of gains or losses in investments. Remember, day trading can be extremely risky. You should be prepared to lose all the funds that you use for day trading. In particular, you should not fund day trading activities with retirement savings, student loans, second mortgages, emergency funds, funds set aside for purposes such as education or home ownership, or funds required to meet your living expenses. Further, certain evidence indicates that investments less than $50,000 will significantly impair the ability of a day trader to make a profit. Of course, an investment of $50,000 or more will no way guarantee a success. With that out of the way, let's get into the content. Okay, cool. Everything was black. I was a little worried. Good morning, everybody. Hope you had a good trading day yesterday and just a good day in general. Overall, I wanted to say I actually don't think we have a play today, but there is two things I'm looking at, and that's ILAG and ATXI. What are you guys up to? Yeah, mic check, mic check. Everything looks good on my end. So with ILAG, this has a few individual resistances in its history. And today there's also ATXI, which is a biotech, and this has a canceled resistance. And I kind of still want to use that cancel resistance, but I'm not going to go in heavy. And main thing is yeah, but the main thing is they're both potential bounce shorts. So with ATXI, this one has a pre-market history of going up to almost 6, and there's a lot of potential resistance in that area. Now on this ATXI, there wasn't any real consolidations to go off of, but I remember trying to do some kind of double intraday top when it went up to 8, and it actually worked. But again, that's like at 8. And so if you look on the daily, which is where you start, judging whether it's an individual resistance and stuff like that, it kind of just looks like it's canceled. And overall, if you're just looking at the float, it's a micro float, which is another reason why you shouldn't just like jump right into it. Micro float plus biotech. But there's no actual news other than the reverse split that happened on the 23rd. It kind of refreshes, that idea. And that's why you had that like huge dump. So this is kind of just fresh. And so all this stuff before that point is canceled. I still don't know if there's going to be like a psychological resistance or something when you look at that. Because like if there is, I feel like that psychological resistance will be a light resistance. And at that point, it'd just be a breakout. So I'm really curious to see what's going to happen. So I didn't borrow my normal size. I think I got like 2,000. Where originally I wanted something closer to like 4 or 5. but that's just in case this turns into something. For what do you call it? ATXI. Yeah, but again, this had a reverse split on the 23rd, so everything's supposed to be refreshed. So I wouldn't pay attention to these two, but I still want to see how it performs because I pulled up a lot of my notes with canceled resistances, and a good amount of them actually still activated. Especially the ones that didn't cancel the resistance like all the way. But this is going to be my first stat that has a reverse split. Just refresh the chart, and I want to see how that reacts, so I can just track his price action. Yeah, so that's what I'm going for today. Something I was doing. Wow. Everything else seemed like it was from like the New York Stock Exchange, and we know that's just a little more manipulated, different type of price action. Yeah. Always have to double check. All right, here we go. Yeah. The borrows for this are actually going up, which still makes me a little curious on whether it's actually going to activate because it's still a micro float. So, like part of me just really wants to buy. Oh yeah, I didn't explain ILAG. With ILAG, now this would be the actual bounce short that would pretty much be after it goes to 3. But it has to get up to that point. Yep, that's it. All right. Let's see. Got stopped out at LVCX yesterday. Ah, that day. That day. Are you trading stocks under $3? I thought Steven does not like that. Yeah, Steven doesn't like a lot of stuff I do. But trading stocks under $3, it's something you can do with a smaller account. You just don't want to do it with a large account. Like an account like 3 to 5K, you can start trading stuff like $3 and below because you won't affect too much of the like liquidity in the stock. But once you get into like larger accounts, you're going to be targeted. But I still wouldn't like, get into a habit of doing it too often. But if you see something, worth trading, trade it. And if you can't trade it, paper trade it. What is your opinion on TZ? I am currently using FCD broker called Colmex, but they often don't allow penny stock trading. I think TZ, it is I still like the borrow feature and the free commission. And so I'm gonna stick with them for a while. Overall, I'll definitely be wary against some trades and be quick to pretty much document any like mistakes that are happening, and I'll just be like, "Hey, I'll put it on your tab, TZ." So like our relationship, it's not. It's still positive. Like it's still my broker, but yeah, there's a lot of glitches. But no matter where I go, I feel like there's going to be glitches, and you just have to choose your like what are you willing to sacrifice. And in this case, the wrong data. I know it's not always going to be wrong, but they'd have to do some really consistently bad stuff, like a little more than they're doing now, to get me out of here. Just because they have the free commissions and like priority when it comes to like the borrows and stuff like that. Uh, yeah, I think they still have room for improvement, so I'm gonna stick with them. At the same time, when I get a little more into my account, I'm gonna split the account and I'm gonna open it up somewhere else, so I don't have to deal with those kind of broker issues as much. I'll just start going back and forth, figuring out which one that day is going to be less buggy. But it looks like ATXI is moving. You said you got stopped out on LVTX. What is it? This little spike to like 538. I was looking at that and I'm just like, oh, that's where those early shorts were. And it was such a it didn't happen quickly. But you can definitely tell this guy this had either something to do with the consumer sentiment. I don't think it was over shorted because there wasn't a lot of volume that day compared to like what I thought it would be. But overall, it just looked like it was not going anywhere past like the 350. Wasn't worth it to like chase it. Yeah, early shorts won that day. Now are they going to win today? I don't know. I think this ATXV. I think people were stuck at like 550. They're going to get squeezed up to like something pretty high. Main thing is because it's a reverse split biotech micro float. Now, I was debating if I wanted to go long, but I was debating that like when it was at 5. Yeah, but I think people were trying to short it at like 540. Oh well, just another day of me just watching, trying to figure out what's going on. I don't know if ILAG is going to move. Don't look like anything special right now. Looks pretty slow. You said the float is different. No, they're all under $1 million. And the outstanding, under 2 million. Like the starting. I want to see if they stay. I think they're in the webinar today. just remembered something. So this I A I A L A G I L A G it went up to 290 in the pre-market. That's the bottom of one of those resistances. The 28 million one. But it's not up enough for that to be useful. I really want it somewhere at 3, like 3 plus. As for ATXI, ooh, I thought I had another cancel resistance, but like I couldn't find it. I think I did find it, but it was like a reverse split, so I didn't know how to read it. Okay, here we go. See what it looks like here. Well, looking at the outstanding shares on this, I feel like I kind of want to go over Wall Street. We all track data separately. Like every trader has to track their own data. If you don't track your own data, you won't trust it as much. And that was kind of my problem in the beginning, uh, when I first started trading. Since I had Dux's data, I knew that, it had a proven track record, but I couldn't fully execute a trade because I didn't make it. Like, even if I did, like, track all his history and stuff like that, I could see that, it worked. I could simulate the profits and everything. But when it came to actually executing with like large size, like until I had my own data, like the simulated trades, I couldn't feel confident enough to pull the trigger or hold long enough because it just felt like, it didn't feel like high odds trading. But after you get a few wins, then you get greedy. Yeah, but the more losses you take, the more it's like a chain effect. But let me do this. Remember, this is a micro float. Bottom 5. Kind of want it at 750. But that's just looking from the bottom. Let me look from the squeeze. Nope, 750. Yeah, calculated it two ways. Got 750. It's actually 740, but yeah, but same thing. Like 7. I add on 7. I add on the 750 because it'd be like slippage statistics, and biotech, microfloat. You want to add on those slippages because it swings real hard. What's the upper range of? Do you think Kelly's strategy is good for risk management? I don't know who Kelly is. But I'm gonna say no because I don't know what it is. So no amount of market data or analysis will compensate for the lack of winning attitude, trading mindset. Yeah, that's true. And I'm a pretty pessimistic person, so I have to have a lot of what do you call that? Um, something ego. I don't know. It goes to awareness at the end of the day. You're not supposed to feel good all the time anyway. Like 1/3, 1/3, 1/3. I also don't want to get rid of my self trust too and just pretend that everything's okay. Because that's another like pitfall you can fall into. Just being overly optimistic and then you just get wrecked. Like, you really have to find a balance with this stuff. And Steven, he's really good at that. You got to be in the zone, the trader zone. Hold it. There's something up 3,000%. It's another pharmaceutical. Oh boy. That mean we're gonna have like a sympathy play kind of pressure on ATXI. So now it's gonna go to like 20 or something. APRX. Up, it's a biotech. Hey, hold on. KTX. Wait, KPR. See what kind of bars we're looking at. Oh, 1 cent. Oh, it's over. Up 3,000%. First, let's figure out what that news is. It's a 1 to 40 reverse split. We've seen that before. All right, so ILAG. I think that's Hong Kong, but it's not pharmaceutical. So I don't think it's going to have any pressure. We're going to get rid of that one. Yeah, we're going to get rid of that one. KPRX. That's not the letters I want. KP. All right. Okay. I can't tell if this is me or TZ. Either way, we're getting. There we go. So main thing is we just had a reverse split. All history doesn't matter. We're in full. I don't know what mode to call this, but it'd be pretty much IPO gapping mode. And since it's up 3,000%, people are gonna pay attention to it. But its volume is under 1 million, so there's no actual play that can be made on this. There's no actual extension. It just looks pretty at this point. So technically, you're not supposed to touch it, but it's something that, you know, again, it looks pretty, and so someone might get trapped. Now, what will we look for? Now, what have we seen in the last like 5 reverse splits in the past like 2-3 weeks? We've seen like 4 of them just straight dump. Like the whole day, they just dumped. And they did that. I remember we figured out that one of them had a really high institutional ownership. This one has nothing. It has like 8%. It's also in the US. So any of those idea of like Chinese pump and dumps and stuff, that's kind of out of the window. One of the ones that went down, they had a fixed amount of outstanding shares. I'm just checking on the whole. Let's see if this one had anything that stuck in terms of they're going to keep the float but change the shares and stuff like that. Okay, see, here we go. The number of authorized shares of the company stock will remain 50,000. What ticker was that? Ooh. Hey. Sharp pains. Yeah. OSSSS. One of the criteria for the pre-market breakout is it has to be under 50%. This one was above 50% when it was at like $5. I think. Yeah, I'm pretty sure because it was at like 60, like almost a little bit more. Ooh. All right, so we just came out of the halt. No, it didn't. No, it didn't halt again. Well, 710 to 780. That is 10%. It just halted again. Huh. All right. So now we're past the normal squeeze. I'm going to throw in a much bigger one. Okay, so originally I was using 570. I can do it on here. So we're pretty much counting the squeezes at this point. Keep it here. So I was thinking, okay, this went from 570, squeezed like 70%, like from the close. And that would take it to about 740. Next one. Probably be somewhere around there. That's me without calculating. What I was doing. Oh yeah. Five, five, what is it? 5, 2. That's not right. Right. Okay. We'll do it the other way. Actually, here. Main thing is at any of these points, you can just use your risk management and shoot your shot. But my thing is, I want to wait for some kind of top and then pull back for confirmation and then start doing that because it's a micro flip. If we look at the history, we can see what kind of price action this has. We have no clue if we're on this side and then it's going to do like a 50% pullback and then push again, or if we're up here and this was like pretty much the pre-market at like 5 something, and this is going to be at 850, and then it's going to pull back to like 6, and then later you're going to get chopped or faked out. So main thing is, remember I was talking about resistances and how this did a split, and everything is canceled. I don't know if this is going to affect it or not. Remember, I did those calculations without looking at this, and they kind of look the same. So we're going to see if this actually has something to do with it. Because what is it? This one up to 780 in the halt. That's right in the middle of where this one failed last time. And that was mostly because, people were trying to go for a double top. And then it still came back in the afternoon. I forgot what I recorded that as. Hey. remember looking. One of pre-market breakout criteria is 20 to 50 period. Oh, Eileen depressed again. It's okay, champ. You'll understand. Wait, you're not supposed to call it girl champ. Little lady. Yeah, I'm just be quiet. Oh, there we go. How far will you go? Okay, what was my estimate? 860. Look at that. Blew right past it. Oh my gosh. All right. That was okay. That's not bad. If you don't get past like 910, we're good. How much do I have? Might be oh. Kind of still climbing. But it's fine. I have 2,000. 2010. Oh wait, I know what that is. 2,000. 20,000. Almost. But this volume's kind of low. One hold, two hold. Crap. Okay. That's double from the breakout area, I guess. So put this over here. About 1040. We're at another halt. Oh, wrong one. All right. So we went through all the levels that we were thinking about. But we kind of saw that coming because everything's refreshed. Now, at each one of these points, the people that remember this, they just got chopped and they added to that squeeze. So I'm going to use this. I think it was like 840. Oh, 40. All right. So I'm going to use this 860 as the place for my next squeeze. Kind of seems like a lot though. What kind of reason that larger float 200 million stock with thin volume act like micro float like GTII? No, I didn't go in yet before the halt. Yeah, I didn't go in yet. No. But to answer your question about like what makes a a small cap and a larger side of the small cap act like a micro float. It kind of depends on the news, because like, what are you using? GTII as an example? Because at the end of the day, it's you moving money into the stock. And the hell? What was I say? Yeah, so if you're at a 200 million market cap and you're moving like a micro float, that means money's coming in and out really fast, enough to cause that kind of volatility. You'd have a market cap, or you'd have a float that would match that market cap. And I can't think of an example off the top of my head, because there's plenty of plays that have been like 500, 600 market cap, but that's after they had like multiple day runs. And then at that point, the person that bought most of the pump, or like most of the shares, like 80%, 60%, and they're just highly manipulating the price at that point, they'll be the ones moving the stock up and down, creating the market, like the market maker. But I feel like there's also more to that. All right, look at that. We got ATXG at 60 cents per share now. All right, but main thing is we have to come up with a solid risk for this and have a reason behind it. Now, overall, I was doing like 30% squeeze, 70% squeeze, 190% squeeze, depending on if you're talking about from the close or using the dollar. My next one actually goes to like 11. And then there's also that like double from the breakout point kind of thing. But again, this is a reverse split. So reverse split, biotech, micro float, all those just scream, we're about to go to the moon. So you can tell I'm being patient, and it's not actually that hard, because a lot of this is, aiming towards, you get one try. At least in my case, I get one try. Okay. Yeah, but like the 920, that was like the little bit that I wanted. Now, one of the things I like to do on like pre-market breakouts or anything that does like a parabolic like that is I count the squeezes. And this already halted 3-4 times at this point. And so I'd usually do 3 to 5 squeezes. So this is actually hitting toward the maximum. But my next calculation puts this at like 11. And I kind of don't think it's going to go that far. If it goes that far, I feel like it's actually going to break out to like almost 20. So let's see what they say in the chat. Yeah. Chimney, at least in the Gen chat, he makes a good point. We might have a play tomorrow. Whenever there's a micro float and it creates a top, and you're trying to figure out, oh, where does Steven trade micro floats? Okay, if there's like obviously like super overextension, yeah, he'll go into that. But there's also those like double intraday tops where, you don't really want to trust a intraday resistance, because they can always be like grinded through, especially on a micro float. But if you get like a double intraday top, that means that like, you know, you pulled back enough to give everyone that sense of closure, and then, you know, it got squeezed and it went all the way back up into double top. Now at that point, you're in you have multiple reasons to have selling pressure. But main thing is, since this had a reverse split, all that consistent resistance that this potentially could have had is gone. But I also don't want to just be like, oh, okay, if this did have a lot of people trying to go in at 8, maybe we should just wait till 16. Like that just seems like way too much. So it really does put me in that IPO kind of mode. And if that's the case, I kind of want to try some of my gap up short statistics on it. I want to see which one we're closer to at 950, which would probably be like 2.1. So 3.1 times 3.52. Nope, that's still too big. It has me going in at 10.9, which I don't think we're there yet. Do 1.8. I think that's one of them. Okay. Okay, 385. I said 385. 985. I don't know where I got 3. Where do you think most people are right now? Like in this stock? Oh yeah. To the person that asked, how do you have a 200 million market cap on Finviz like move like a micro float? This is an OTC. They do that. That's what they do. Yeah, so that's, they don't have as many regulations. So that is more likely highly manipulated by a large shareholder. Yeah, but this is OTC. That's why that happens. I forgot I was doing it. Oh yeah. 9. Yeah. Let's go. How long is this hold gonna be? Why didn't you go long at ATXI? I told you earlier, like I'm trying not to go long because if I do one long, I'm gonna do 10 long. Uh, I said I was gonna wait till I get above PDT to go long, which is actually kind of funny because last time I was in the hole on my account, most of my longs were during February, or no, during October, and that was the thing that got me out of the hole because I'm just like, oh, this is obviously gonna like, you know, blow up. And I think I've missed like 3, maybe 4 really good longs like since then. But in the process, like I have more samples, of you know, more pre-market breakouts, parabolic dip buys, Uh, apparently breakouts that happen on micro floats that have still like a light resistance. It's not even a light resistance. What do you call that? Like, I don't know what to call them, but I can understand why it's breaking out. And I would attempt around here risking 10.1. That sounds about right. $10 stock, risk about 50 cents. Main thing is when this drops, like first it's a micro float, so it's going to be super like volatile. But when this actually cracks, the initial crack is going to try to keep it below like 8 something. It's going to look something like this. Like we're at this point. Now we don't know if there's going to be like one final push and then just like a huge crack, and there's going to be like a good $1.50 difference. But like this is its history. This is before the split. But we see how violently this moves. And on both days, it had that juke out. And then like the late day juke. So as soon as this actually hits my 50% mark, which I should probably calculate that now, I'm out. Not even gonna test it. I don't even think there's gonna be that much rewards in the next day anyway. Okay, that's actually a lie. If I could stomach that with a smaller position, I could get more. But I went in small thinking something similar like that before, like only 2K. And look what happened. It went up to 10. So I'm okay with that. If I borrowed too much, I probably would have actually went in early and took a loss already. Or that paper cut or potential paper cut would have turned into a full on losing a limb. Yeah. And then you're all just like, Dontez, just go long. Shut the fuck up. Like, I know. I longed at 6.8, sold at 6.3. Feels bad. Feels bad. Small size, then add on confirmation. Yeah, that's how you do it. Oh, here we go. At that way, you can risk your average. We just want to make sure we're doing it in strength. So we are at 19 million. This has under a million float. So that's a lot of rotation so far. You're not going to get, come on, go up. I know you can't. I went in on ATXI 200 shares just to say I can, or say I tried. That's all I have the appetite for. No average up for me. Okay, while it's doing that, I'm going to calculate my mark where I would cover. Very decisive. And I want this to go to 980. Like something that, slightly does a peak over that. And then I feel comfortable that I went into strength. So I'm going to do it from this point, but I'm going to be thinking in my head, in my heart, 980. So let's do 957. 52. I'm gonna do 0.3 again. 0.55. What? See, I'm trolling. What did I do? Put it back. Oh, I did it twice. Okay. 1.85. Okay. So 650. Okay. And never mind. This is where the 50% mark is. Now let's figure out that 30%. Right. Almost forgot. So let's calculate. I got two of them. I never saw that coming. Okay, so we're up. It went up 180%. No, 170. So my history with that is it goes to 220, 210 before it actually does anything. What's 220? Okay, yeah. Cool. Up one. Okay. Did it bounce there? The suspense is killing me, or at least my knees. I just hacked your Evernote and I copied your data. You could turn on the profit/loss indicator on the Y axis. Then take a starter. Easy math after that. I don't know if I'd like to have my profits and losses on the on this, because I'll be really conscious of it. It's similar to when you do like paper trade simulators, and the whole time you're focused on the money. Uh, it definitely would help you take your risk management very seriously. And you're supposed to be trading your plan anyway, but I don't know. Like I feel like I'd be too aware of the money involved, and I feel like that would get in my way of what is actually changing inside of the ticker in terms of what's available from the market, because I'll be too focused on the money. And so I'll be intended just looking at the money instead of other stuff, which you know, it has its pros and cons. The pro is you'll never lose more than you know you determine. The con is you'll never see a top tick again, or you'll never I want to say never. It'd just be harder to be patient. There you go. There's not a whole lot to track this year compared to last year. That's true. But last year and the year before that, they were unique years. A lot of people came into the market. A lot of money came into the market. I'm still waiting for this to come back up. Like, it's not going to get me. Now, let's figure out where the average short sellers are now. So if they got squeezed and halted instantly, say people were here at 8. Oh, 8. 1.2. 1.4. About the same. That's not a crack. That's them coming out. There we go. All right, now when we get into the fake out above that, that's where I'll go in, because all the people from here to there are going to get squeezed. Don't tell me you're going to halt again. Why is it so easy for this to halt? Ah! Velociraptor. Okay, I'm done. Did I complete? Okay, first, I kind of want to see what the 30% the bottom was. I kept up the other calculator. So we went down 60%. We went down 60%. So 30% above from that point would actually be where I should go in. Or at least start, which it already went past that. Then the max of that was 50. Yeah, 2.6. Okay. But that still just doesn't seem right. But I'll go in half. Said no one. Main thing is I'm risking 1,500 on this. My max is supposed to be 3K, but it's a micro float, so I'm gonna cut it in half. I just wanted to create a new top or go sideways a little bit. Because I still feel like we're on the front end. Like, I feel like we're right here. What day is this? The 22nd? So 3, 3, 2, 1. 3, 2, 1. But this went from 758. Yeah. 758 divided by 3, 2, 1. I gave you a 236. When it hit the bottom, it went to 596. Now that gives you 185. Now that's a good like 50% between. The last one we just did 60%. I don't remember if this was halting a lot though. Well, you're gonna figure out tomorrow because it's almost 10:30. And you know what that means? Time to go misbehave off camera. He said, "Come on now, top pick gang." Oh, there's more. How can you trade only 1 hour and half a day when a gap up short strategy takes 2+ hours to trade? It's all about trade selection. If your setup says that a trade should take about like an hour or two, you can make it work. You don't have to take the full meat of the move, but you want to. But if you have other time restrictions, you could change, the time of the day that you look at the market, like last 2 hours or the first 2 hours. I prefer the first 2 hours because it has the most action. And all that volume just gets stuck and trips over itself. Okay. New high. New high. All right, I'm in. Got my 980. I got half in there right now. I'm gonna give it a few seconds. Probably like, I kind of just want to go in, but I still have this other number that says like 1040, and that's what's making me hesitate. 15 more seconds. $0.50. Yeah. I'm in. All right. So if this breaks, what'd that be? 610. Looks like I'm about to get out real quick. I don't want it to break 1040, but 1020 is definitely a size down moment. Oh, nope. I'm all out. Get that. Oh, wait. It's making me feel uncomfortable. I'm gonna take out 500. Then again, I should be good for a bit. I'm only in half now. I should only took out the 500. What's my average? What? 9.57. That's pretty much the top of the last one. It's like part of me wants to look away and check this ticker, but I don't trust it yet, especially since it just did that quick test of the like the 880. That just seems really bullish to me. Well, it finally stopped halting, so that's a thing. Careful, my boy. I'm gonna dip. Let you focus. Good luck. How can you trade only 1 hour? It's a good idea to cover my SPY swing short. No. How much did you get your shares for? I got it pretty cheap. Like half of them, I got it 10 cents. The other half, I got it at like 19 cents. So $300. And I just realized negative 700. So I'm already down 1K on the day. And I have 9K in there. Or your value out then. Yeah. I have 9K in there. which means I don't even break even until I get 10% of this. Is 95 cents, which is pretty much $8. And oh well. All right, guys, I'm gonna go focus. I'll catch you guys tomorrow. Stay safe. Okay, I was checking out that other ticker, INM. Doesn't seem like anything for now. But all right, guys, peace. Best time to borrow shares, around 5:30.